My name's Lauren. I'm 26 now, but this story starts when I was 15, back then. I thought the worst thing in the world was being ignored by your own mother. I had no idea how deep that pain could go until she made it painfully clear. My younger sister Bella was always the golden child. If Bella got a B, it was a triumph. If I got an A, I must have cheated. Bella could do no wrong, and me. I was basically the maid who happened to share a last name. Dad died when I was 12. After that, Mom changed. Really changed. It's like the light went out in her eyes, but only when she looked at me. For Bella, the smiles and laughter were endless. It hurt. By the time I was 15, I was cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, and basically raising Bella. Mom worked late and claimed she was exhausted, but somehow always had time to do Bella's hair for cheerleading. Bella was lazy, rude, and mean, but she was the baby. That phrase was my mom's shield for every excuse. She's the baby, Lauren. Let her enjoy her childhood. Meanwhile, I was scrubbing toilets. The real tipping point came on my 16th birthday. I was excited for once. I didn't expect much, maybe a cake or dinner. But I came home to find the house decorated. For Bella's cheer squad sleepover. No happy birthday, not even a card. Just a, can you help set up the snacks, Lauren? That night I cried myself to sleep on the floor of our laundry room because Bella's friends took my bed. After that, something hardened in me. I kept my head down, did what I had to, but stopped caring. I worked 2 jobs during high school, got scholarships, and moved out at 18. No goodbye hug. Just silence. College was my freedom. I made friends. I found out I was actually smart, funny, worth something. For 4 years I had peace. I visited maybe once a year, and it was always the same. Bella beaming, Mom cold. After graduation, I landed a great job in finance. Moved to a nice apartment, dated, lived. But then, the phone call came. Bella had dropped out of college. Again, Mom was worried sick. She didn't say it, but I knew what she wanted. Money. Help. Fix-it mode. But I wasn't biting. She's the baby, Mom said on the phone. I hung up. I hadn't forgotten everything I'd endured. 3 months later, I got a call from my aunt. Mom was planning to move in with Bella in a new place and needed help with retirement money. Alarm bells rang. Mom didn't have savings. Curious, I started digging. I worked in finance. Tracing transactions and accounts was my thing. What I found made my blood boil. My mom had taken out a life insurance policy on my dad years ago, $250,000. Guess who never saw a penny? Me, but I saw where it went. Private school for Bella dance classes, a used BMW at 17, a semester at a private college she flunked out of, all paid in full. Meanwhile, I'd worked night shifts and $8 ramen for 4 years. That money was supposed to help us both. Dad would have wanted that, but Mom, she spent it all on Bella and told me we were barely getting by. I didn't confront her yet. I wanted a plan. Revenge, maybe. Justice, definitely. But it just had to hurt the same way it had hurt me all those years, so I waited, watched. And then the opportunity came. Bella was turning 21, and Mom was throwing a big party. Invites were out. I wasn't invited, but that didn't stop me from showing up, in a dress that cost more than Bella's entire closet. Their faces when I walked in priceless. I pretended it was just a drop-by. Hugged Bella, smiled at Mom, then casually mentioned I'd been consulting on retirement plans for women over 50. Mom's ears perked up. She cornered me later, alone. Could you help me figure mine out? She asked, sheepish. Of course, I said sweetly. That night I emailed her a starter checklist for retirement planning. She sent back all her bank info, old passwords, access to everything. I waited. Confirmed she still had about $40,000 in various accounts. Not much, but more than she'd ever admit. I took screenshots, collected proof, then I built a legal trust in my name and moved her assets there temporarily for protection. Fully traceable, totally legal, reversible if needed. But only if I wanted to. Spoiler, I didn't. When she noticed, she called me panicking. Where's my money? I told her flat out. Safe. Unlike the childhood you gave me. Silence, then yelling. Accusations, guilt-tripping. I recorded every word. You owe me, she screamed. After everything I gave you, girls. I laughed. You didn't give me anything. You used me, but now I'm done. I blocked her number after that. After blocking Mom, I expected peace. But of course, that's not how narcissists work. She started emailing. Long, rambling guilt trips mixed with thinly veiled threats. I saved every word, just in case. Bella reached out too. "You've really hurt Mom," she wrote. "She's crying every day. Same Bella who once called me our housemaid, in front of her friends." Yeah, my sympathy was low. I didn't reply. Instead, I sent one final email to Mom. Short, cold, legal. "All funds are held in trust for your benefit. No withdrawals will occur without proper planning and consultation. Any harassment will be met with legal action." Silence after that, for a while. I thought maybe that was the end, but then Bella showed up at my office. Yes, my workplace. Reception called, confused. I let her up. She walked in like she owned the place. "What are you doing?" she hissed. "You're destroying Mom." I stared at her. "Funny, that's what she did to me." "For 18 years, she's family," Bella shouted. "She's not mine," I said. "Not anymore." She left in tears. I didn't feel good about it, but I didn't feel bad either. Some things aren't clean. Some justice feels like broken glass underfoot. Still, it was justice. 2 weeks later, I got a letter. Certified. From a lawyer. Mom was threatening to sue me for financial abuse of the elderly. My hands trembled. Then I laughed. She had no case. I had documentation for every step. Still, I hired a lawyer of my own. Sent a response. Detailed. Brutal. Included a timeline of neglect. Documentation of unpaid labor during childhood and a psychological report I'd gotten years ago, diagnosing long-term trauma. We never heard from her lawyer again. But the damage was done. She'd tried to weaponize the law against me. That cut deeper than any insult. So I made a final move. I contacted my aunt, the only sane family member, and offered a deal. I'd release half the funds from the trust if Mom agreed to sign over a document acknowledging what she did. Her neglect, her financial mismanagement, her favoritism. It wasn't for court, it was for me. Proof. Something tangible. My aunt convinced her. The letter arrived a week later, signed, notarized. She admitted she'd unfairly burdened me and disproportionately favored Bella. That letter, I framed it, sits in my home office today. A reminder that I wasn't crazy. I wasn't dramatic. I was just a kid trying to be seen. And finally, I got that acknowledgement. Even if I had to rip it out of her. As for Bella, we haven't spoken since that day at my office. She posted cryptic quotes on Instagram about family betrayal and money poisoning the heart. I muted her, let her rot in curated sadness. Mom now lives in a small rental. No fancy car. No shopping sprees. She's not destitute. I didn't leave her with nothing, but she no longer has control. She no longer has power. Me. Bought a condo. Adopted a cat. Started therapy. I'm healing. Slowly, some days I still hear her voice in my head, criticizing my clothes or rolling her eyes when I cry. But now I talk back. I tell her to shut up. I've started mentoring other young women who went through family neglect. I don't tell them my full story. Not yet. But I let them know they aren't alone, that they aren't crazy, that love should never feel like servitude. One girl asked me recently, "Do you still love her?" I paused, thought hard. I loved who I hoped she'd be, I said. But the woman she chose to be. No, I don't owe her that, and that's the truth. Sometimes we think we have to forgive to move on. Sometimes moving on means burning the bridge and planting a garden on the ashes. Months passed. The silence became a strange comfort. No emails, no visits, just quiet. And for once, I wasn't waiting for the other shoe to drop. I finally felt like I had control over my life. Therapy helped more than I expected. I didn't just talk about MOM. I talked about everything. The childhood birthdays where I got socks and Bella got jewelry. The nights Mom forced me to cook while Bella went to parties. The shame. The anger. My therapist gave me a word I'd never had before. Parentification. It means being forced to act like the adult, while your parent acts like the child. It hit me hard. It explained so much. And it validated every suppressed feeling. I kept working, got promoted, bought a second property. A tiny lake cabin I always dreamed of. It was mine. No Mom's name on the deed. There's no Bella making demands. Just peace. Then one day, I got a message from an unknown number. "I'm sorry. That's all it said. No name, no explanation. But I knew it was Mom. I didn't reply. I screenshotted it and archived it. I wasn't interested in a redemption arc. I didn't need closure from her anymore. I had created my own. But karma, she's real. Didn't have to do anything. Word got around that Bella was struggling. Her influencer gig had dried up, and she'd moved back in with Mom. They were living together in a cramped apartment, arguing constantly. A former neighbor who still talked to my aunt said Bella was furious. Apparently Mom had promised her that she'd always take care of her financially. Now they were stuck together, two narcissists in a tin can turning on each other. There was something poetic about it. The golden child and the matriarch bound together by the very dysfunction they'd inflicted on me. I didn't feel joy, but I did feel something close to justice. A few weeks later, a package arrived at my door. No return address. Inside was a small, velvet jewelry box. I opened it. Inside was the necklace I'd always wanted as a child. Small sapphire, delicate and beautiful. There was a sticky note attached. I should have given this to you. I'm sorry. Mom, I stared at it for a long time. Then I closed the box and set it aside. Didn't wear it. I didn't throw it away. I just kept it. Proof that even she, in her own broken way, knew what she did. Not long after, I got another message. This time from Bella. You win. You happy now? I laughed. Really laughed, because that's how she saw it. As a competition. Not survival. Not healing. A contest. So I replied, just one sentence. I was never playing. That was the last I ever heard from her. 2 years passed. In that time, I barely spoke of my mother or Bella. People would ask, and I'd just say, we're not close. That was it. I didn't explain, didn't rant. The rage had burned out, and all that was left was clarity. I kept the house, paid it off, refurbished the kitchen myself, something I never thought I'd be able to do. On the weekends, I'd drive to the lake cabin, sit on the porch with coffee, and just exist. For once, life wasn't something I had to survive. It was something I could live. Then one summer morning, my aunt, Mom's sister, called me out of the blue. She never really got involved in family drama, but I picked up. Her voice was shaky. She's in the hospital, she said. Your mother. Stroke. It's bad. I didn't know what to say. I felt nothing. No jolt of fear. No sadness. Just a dull, neutral quiet. She's asking for you, my aunt said. I didn't go. I told her gently but firmly. I hope she's getting the care she needs. But I've made my peace. She didn't argue. She just sighed. I figured, just thought you should know. A week later, I got a letter, handwritten, from Mom. The writing was shaky, slurred in places, but it was definitely hers. I don't know how much longer I have. I'm not asking you to come see me. I remember now, the things I said. The way I made you clean up after Bella? How I'd ignore you? I remember. I don't know why I did it. Maybe I saw too much of your father in you. Maybe I was just scared. And you were the only one who didn't scare me. You were safe. So I pushed you. And I know that's not fair. I'm sorry, I don't expect forgiveness. But if I could do it all again, I'd raise you differently. That last line stuck with me. I'd waited my whole life for her to say something like that. And now that I had it, I didn't feel better. I didn't feel worse. Just tired. Bella never wrote, never called. I didn't expect her to. Months passed, and a year. Mom passed away quietly in hospice. Bella handled the funeral. I didn't attend. But I did visit the grave one morning, long after everyone had moved on. I stood there in silence for a long time. Then I whispered, I became someone good. In spite of you, I walked away. It's been 5 years since my mom died. Bella's still out there, floating through life. Last I heard, she was working at a salon, couch hopping, and blaming everyone but herself for where she landed. Some people never grow up, especially when they've been enabled their whole lives. I haven't spoken to her. Don't plan to. I have no hate for her anymore. Just distance. That's enough. As for me, I'm good. Really good. I started my own business last year, a small cleaning service, ironically enough. Only this time I run it. I hire women from rough backgrounds, especially those like me. Those who were the forgotten ones in their homes. They clean with dignity. They earn more than minimum wage. They're not invisible. Sometimes I'll see a girl who reminds me of me at 16, quiet, overly polite, carrying that weight of trying to be good enough for people who refuse to see her. I make sure she sees herself. That's where the healing starts. I renovated the lake cabin last year. It's not fancy, but clean, warm. I go there once a month to unplug. I bring a journal, some good coffee, sometimes a friend, sometimes just myself. One night last fall, I sat on the porch as the leaves changed colors. Wind in the trees, looked up at the sky and whispered, "You didn't break me. None of you did." That was the moment I knew I'd made it. Not just out of that house, not just out of that role as maid and scapegoat. I'd made it into the kind of life I'd always wanted. Stable, peaceful, self-directed. Do I still carry scars? Of course you don't go through what I did and come out spotless. I wear them like armor now, not chains. So if anyone out there is reading this, still stuck in a family that treats you like you're disposable, hear me, you're not crazy, you're not lazy. You're not selfish for wanting peace. And most of all, you're not alone. The story doesn't have to end where it began. Sometimes walking away isn't weakness. It's the beginning of freedom. And sometimes taking control of your life, even if it means making hard choices, is the most loving thing you can do. For yourself,